Now watch. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country. He tried taking stuff in his hands, right? He tried doing it himself, like all of us. I know you men. We try fixing things. We fixers. We work just a little bit harder. We ain't got joy. We work just a little bit more for it. We can't find peace in our life. We try this, that, and the other to try gaining it. We dabble in this. We experiment with that, and it never fulfills. But we try. We hire ourselves out. We give our life away to everything and anything until that breaking point. And this young man found that breaking point when he was willing to eat the slop the pigs were eating. Don't go that low. Who sent him off to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. Nothing. When he came to his senses, don't you wonder how long he took? How many days went by without able to fill his stomach before he came to his senses? Now I'm asking you, how many days have gone by since you trying to take this world on by yourself and you think you got it figured out? You think you don't need no help from no one. You think you the master of your own domain. How many days have gone by and you haven't come to your senses? Big man, you ain't top of the food chain. I promise you. Live a couple more years, you're going to find out. But when you come to your senses, you can come to the one who is. You could trade your weakness for his strength. You can give it all to him because he has counted the cost. And you can walk a new life. The way you came ain't got to be the way you left or leave. Baby, don't get ahead of myself. When he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am starving to death. And you know that feeling if you don't have Christ. If you living below who you know you've been created to be. You're starving inside. Your heart is longing and panting after something you can't even put your finger on, but you know that there's something more. It's Jesus. Ain't no other. There's not another name given by which man can be saved, by which that thirst can be met, by which that hunger can be filled. Ain't another one, because he's the bread of life. He's the living water. He is what you are longing for. And when this boy came to his senses, he said, how many of my hired men eat like kings from my father's table? They got food to spare, and here I am starving to death? Ooh, time to go home. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. I counted wrong, Dad. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer to be worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fatted calf and kill it. For the son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to celebrate. Oh, Dad said, I know you couldn't count the cost. You couldn't see it then, but I saw every part of it. I knew it was about to happen before you even took that first step. I counted the cost, son. I've been waiting for this moment your entire life. Get the robe, put it back on him. Let's do it. Loyalty. He's come back home. He was lost, but he came to an end of himself, and now he was established forever in this family. He ain't ever running again. Put the ring on his finger. Put that authority back on him. He is back to where he has always belonged. And you, my man, you young lady, have always belonged at the side of your father. How you get there? By the blood of his son, Jesus. That is the only way. But when you come to them senses and you come back and you realize that you can't count it all, that you don't know what tomorrow holds, but you know that he holds tomorrow and he had to count it, when you come back, he's there to meet you with grace unending.